Hello, everybody. Welcome to Space Dice. Now, you're probably wondering why things sound a little bit different for the players. I'm figuring out some stuff at the moment, but this is the best that I can do. Um, we got right now. We got Roseheart, and we got uh, Les Mod. Say hello, intrepid heroes.
Intrepid heroes. Well, hola, como estas to you too.
Hola, como
Right.
estas?
Bonjour.
Bonjour.
Bonjour, je m'appelle Rosehart.
Jempampel.
Enchanté.
Asahante.
What? Enchanté.
Asahante. All right.
Je m'appelle.
All right, now that I've offended everyone that I could possibly offend, welcome to Space Dice, everybody.
Not Stratvitia to all of my Russian fans watching
Stratsavitiat.
today. How are y'all doing tonight?
Daynata.
To all the Hmong people there too. Yo.
Okay.
Which I said hello.
Welcome, Hmong people. It's nice to see that the Hmong people will be here with us today. So, welcome.
I'm not gonna lie, that's what all of the American kids at my school said to me when I was younger. They're like, "How do you pronounce this?" I'm like, "Hmong." They're like, "Hmong." No,
Hmong.
Hmong.
All right. Welcome, everybody, to Space Dice. Our intrepid, our wonderful individuals had just defeated a bunch of undead for the village, luckily. And shortly thereafter, something crazy happened with Zanar. Zanar, who will not be with us today, just so you guys know. So Zanar went searching for the little child who seems to be this phantasmal dark creature thing. At least it seems to him, at least, that this was the boy, and he had turned into something, as did his bird, and the two of them are just something weird's going on. And then he poofed and disappeared. Shortly thereafter, Tila, no, only Tila and Mizu and Emmett arrive on the scene. The three of them arrive finding this. You find so Tila, you walk in this area with Emmett and the others into this big area. You have noticed the black footprints as well on the ground. And you've walked into this clearing, and you see the bird, the little bird that you know is Zanar, standing in the center with his one of his like winged hands outstretched, like it was about to hold something. Um, so Zanar tells you everything that happened. For anyone who missed what happened last week, just in case, little recap. There are footprints all over the clearing here, on the trees, on the ground, on the rocks, in places that people don't normally put footprints. So you don't walk. The footprints themselves don't seem to be just like dark colored footprints though. Like it's like when looking at them, it's like looking at something that's completely phantasmically black. There's nothing there. And Zanar tells you this, that there was a little boy, had like what seemed to be like a white shirt of some sort, and white hair, white, like pure white orbs for eyes, but everything about him was like this void black. And he had reached out to grab his hand, and the boy had poofed away in fast, like a in a flash of darkness, basically had disappeared in front of him. And Zanar tells you this and shows you that there's a new set of footprints that formed when this happened, and it leads off and it leads deeper into the woods. So Tila, what do you decide to do about this?
I'm going to pick up Zinar and put him in my pouch to keep
All
him
right,
safe.
you put him in your pouch. Mm.
Mhm.
He's
I'm
swearing up a
gonna.
storm.
He's what?
I don't know. Zanar's in your pouch. All good. You notice that the only ones with you are Emmett, Zanar, and Mizu right now. Skyora and Atlas don't seem to be with you. Oh no, and the dog. Mike is with you as well.
What about Pog?
And Pog, yes, and Pog. You
I'm
lot
gonna
are.
say Pog always. That is my Me
Man,
and
there's
him
more
are
NPCs
always
than there are
together.
players.
Not the dog.
No,
It's not the dog. It's Pog.
Yeah, Pog
no,
and
Pog
the
just
dog.
witnessed Strayer and Alice. No, I'm just kidding.
Um,
No.
yeah. So yeah,
Poor Pog.
you come in
Poor
here, and
Pog died.
what
So
exactly do you do? Go ahead.
sh- she point she asked Pog to see if he can sniff the prints to see if can pick up a scent. Or no, she doesn't ask Pog. She goes to Mike and goes, Mike, can you sense it? Can you smell any scent on these tracks? Can you track him?
I'll give it a try. I'll give it a try. He says, his voice much more high pitched than normal. So he attempts to. So he. Yeah, Granny.
Aww.
1 second. Hold on.
Aww.
Do you
Yeah.
have any white clothes? Because I'm gonna do a white load.
Not right now. No.
You sure?
None that are dirty.
Okay.
I'm good.
It's hot in here.
I know.
He's
Welcome, Mizu. Okay, I'm gonna go as quick as I can to explain real quick. Mizu, you found there's a clearing in the woods with a bunch of black footprints all over from last week, and Zanar tells you that a new set of the little boy. It seems that he's turned into some phantasmal creature, and there's a new set of footprints. You guys are, you know where he went now. So Mike takes a look. You said you asked him to sniff. He sniffs these tracks, and he says, he looks at you. It's the strangest thing. It doesn't. There's no scent. Like there's no scent at all. It's like everything should give off at least some sort of a scent. This seems to give a lack of smell for some reason.
well. She goes. I guess we're gonna follow the prince.
Sounds good. And hello, Sheepy. And so he begins to like walk forward, following the tracks. Do you guys are you guys gonna wait for Skyora and Atlas, or are you just gonna go?
Um, should we go and get? Well, I don't know if Atlas will be joining us tonight, but I know Skyora might.
Hmm. Well, it's up to you. Do you
They
go
just
back and get them?
defeated. Well, they just defeated the undead, and so like she Tila wants to check on Skyora to make sure she's okay in the village before they go and after those tracks. So she's like, let's make sure that the others are okay before we follow this trail.
Uh, Mike nods his head, but then looks at the trail again, and he notes. He says, there might be a little bit of a problem. Look, and you notice that some of the tracks that are on like the other things, not the particular path, are beginning to disappear. And so Mike says,
Oh,
I don't know, is like we might have some time, but
Tila
yeah,
goes, new idea, new idea.
okay.
She goes, Mizu, you and Emmett go back to the village and get Skyora. Um, she goes, um, she goes, Pog, go with, she's like, Pog, go with Mizu and lead them to us and catch up to us. Me and Mike will follow the trail. You guys can catch up to us.
um, so
Mizu nods. Oh, wait, Pog.
he
Wait, Pog.
he goes ahead and he nods along. Mizu, she takes Emmett hand and is like, "All right, sounds good." And Emmett walks with Mizu, um,
She
and
goes,
Pog. And
wait a second,
oh,
Emmett.
yeah. What is it? What do you need?
She's going to give cast a level 1 spell to help him.
What spell?
Because of his suit.
He hasn't told her
She
about
goes,
that.
just in case. Well, oh, that's right. Never mind
Mhm.
then.
If you want, you
I would have
can
to
roll
roll
me. If you roll, how about this? I would say if you can roll me an intelligence check, um, just a flat intelligence. But I will tell you, it will be a high roll to remember that he does not seem to be taking the suit off, and that there might be a lack of oxygen. But that's going to be a bit of a high roll. You can certainly attempt it though, if you want.
Nope. I rolled a nat one. That's a definite.
You
That's
have
Megatron.
you have no idea why he's still wearing the suit, or anything like that. Although it is the clothing he has, so it's not that confusing. You're not really questioning it. It's not bothering you in the slightest.
Oh, Sheepy
Right.
said that Mizu was actually gonna tell him.
She does. Like right, because like the team is beginning. Like there hasn't been much of a um when. Like when do you tell them now, or do you tell? Because the thing is, they're trying to find the tracks are beginning to disappear. So you don't have a lot of time, but well now okay. Yeah, Mizu tells you about Emmett's situation, that he can't that he has a limited supply of oxygen, and that taking off the suit might kill him if he keeps it off for too long. This little thing
Okay.
that happened.
Well, what you call it?
He's
Protection. Will
hmm?
protection from good and evil help him? As she said.
Protection of good and evil. That's it. So okay, so this is a moment when I, as a DM, have to consider whether or not a spell designed for 5th edition D&D will have any effect on something that's come from a completely different universe right now. Give me a quick little second to check something. Okay. Hold on. This is like DM moment. You got to make a decision type deal. Okay. Let me see. Protection. So protection from good and evil.
Mhm.
Good from protection from good and evil. Um, D&D. Let me just see. Let me read the description of this spell real quick, cause this is like
Because it doesn't give me the description at all on my sheet at all.
yeah, protection from good and evil. So
Asma, Sheepy asked what you got. What
okay,
Tila got.
so
I, I just,
the
I
protection
was either
against,
gonna do that or Shield of Faith
against
for him.
creatures of those type have disadvantage on attack rolls against the target. The target also can't be charmed, frightened, or possessed by them if the target is already charmed, frightened, and possessed. Yeah, no, that wouldn't help him because that's against. Well, hold on.
What about Shield of Faith?
Shield of Faith, I believe, is just a shield. Hold on. Give me a second.
That just says concentration up to 10 meters. I don't.
Shield of Faith. Let me see. Shield of Faith components.
Wait,
Hold
how?
on.
Now that raises a question: how does Emmett get food into his suit?
It's a good question.
He is
Did
slowly
you watch him
getting
eat?
more of questions.
No.
No.
Well, keep in mind, remember, he said it's when he takes off the suit for long periods of time. So he kind of can open the suit, eat something, and close it again. It just it hurts a little bit to do that, but the effects from what they saw from what Mizu saw, if he takes off the suit for a certain amount of time, and over time it begins to lose its thing. Um, it seems to be when he makes contact with the air outside of, or just with the world itself outside. So I will tell you that as far as I can tell, there's no way to refill the oxygen either, because this air would be part of this world, and so he's functioning off air that's still back from the other world. Field of surrounds a creature of your choice within range, granting it +2. Again, no, sorry. Shield of Faith would not help him in that situation.
Nor Cure Wounds. Got it.
And then it's back
Okay.
because both urgent matter, shield, or I just noticed this. MF sends smaller wolves to fight. Okay, it has nothing to do with space dice, but okay, sheepy. um, now, uh, the so yeah, Mizu tells you this, and then eventually starts heading back to with Emmett and Pog to the other place, um, back to get Skyora and Atlas. So they head back. Tila, you are here with Mike, and I think that's it. You're just here with Mike right now.
And we are, yes, and we're venturing forward following the trail
Yes,
before it fades.
quite. You are. So yeah, you're making your way down this. It's not really a path. He's just. It seems like I'd say the best thing to say is that what this. Oh, and Zanar's with you as well. He's in your pouch. I'd say that looking at this
Yes.
path, it feels a lot like you're just what like it looks like the kind of walking pattern a lost child would have. I'd give you that. You have that much insight to see. It's kind of like frantically running around. He seems. Roll me an insight if you could actually.
It's not gonna be good. My insight. I rolled a 5. What's my insight?
Oh boy.
+2, so I got a 7.
7. It just looks like he's running around for some reason. He's running in some direction. 1 second. What? Hold on.
Who is that from My Hero Academia?
That's or not. I can't fully remember his name, but he's the guy. Celopane is his name. That has nothing to do with space dice. So you you can you tell that I'm perturbed by this?
I think it's Zero and Juro.
Setter. So
That the bird dude?
I tried to roll for insight. Okay, that's what you were asking. Insight on the
Yeah, it is
tracks.
Zero.
You can go ahead and roll me, but it's gonna count for once you get back with Skyora and Atlas in tow. When you see the tracks. So yes, you can roll for that. My bad. I was referring to the other gifts as all. No worries, you're good. Not trying to find. Oh, they're trying to find Stanley. Don't worry. Oh wait, he can't hear me. Right, never mind. Yeah, man, he can't hear me. He's
Has the stream started? Because I don't see our characters bobbling on the screen.
That's right, because I'm not on the. I'm using the computer for the stream, but I'm not in Discord on my computer. I can't. It just I. This is the best I
Got
can
it.
do to not risk it lagging too much. So what you should just see is the artwork, and that's it.
Okay.
Because you guys are on my phone
Just
talking through
checking.
my microphone right now. This new theme on my phone. I can. So while. But yeah, you'll get a chance to roll Mizu. No worries. So as you Tila, and you got a 16. Okay. So I'll tell you once you make your way back, I'll tell you what you got. So Tila, you're making your way down the path. Mike is like sniffing. He seems like he's trying to get his scent, but it's not working very well. But he's just going. Over some. Do you do anything during? Because it seems to be in the forest. There's a couple times he backtracks over his own tracks, and the footsteps are like sometimes a little bit weird. There's a couple times the footsteps are not on the ground; they're on trees, and it's a little bit weird. I'd say that. What do you what do you do? Do you say anything or do anything like, or is it just like a quiet trip?
Tila is focusing on the tracks, but also she's keeping like basically trying to get Zanar to rest because he looks like he took a beating.
Mm-hmm.
So she kind of tucks him deeper into her pouch that she's carrying for him to rest, and she like tells him basically examining the footprints, and she's showing Mike, and she may not look it, but she's very resourceful, and like pays attention to certain stuff and sees that the like a twig is broken here, an unsettled rock here, and she's basically following the trail and like with Mike as if they were like almost like equal, like they're both contributing a great term. And when she's talking to Mike, she's mostly just like asking him, do, do, you, do you see where they go? Did the tracks go this way or this way? Because she's basically like, yes, he's a dog, but like right now, he's the biggest help at tracking
Mm-hmm.
right now than she would be.
Mm-hmm. He like flick.
So she's
You see his
mostly
ears flick
following him.
towards you, and
So she's following his lead.
he looks to you and he nods. It's like, yeah. From what I can tell, he's. You know what? Let me see if he actually picks up on any of this. That's a nat 20. Okay. Mike looks at you and he looks at the tracks. He's like, it seems, based on the description that Zanar gave, it seems to me that that this, whatever the boy is, whatever Stanley has become right now, whatever's going on, he's not fully here, or he's become something that's not making sense to him. Like, how do I put this? You've never like you don't have a tail back in our world, right? Right. So when you came to this world, you the sensation of having a tail was new to you, right? So, with that in mind, and also, have you had any? How has your vision been? If you look, like you haven't said anything about needing your glasses lately. Well, you did technically, but you haven't had any trouble seeing without your glasses. This is the first time you've ever probably had. Well, I mean, I don't know. What's your vision like? Do you have 20? It seems you. I will tell you, you have 20/20 vision. But he asks, do you have 20/20 vision right now? Like, how do things work?
She looks up at him and she smiles and goes, well, yeah, I can see you just fine.
And he goes, well, there you go. It's a new sensation for you. You're used to having to have your glasses, otherwise you're practically blind. This time, but now, no glasses. So not only are you able to see well, your peripheral isn't blurred either, because glasses can only catch so much of your vision. Now your peripheral is perfect. It's a new way of seeing for you. Now think of that on a grander scale. From what I can tell, whatever he's become is something in this world that doesn't seem to be compatible with him. He's not understanding what's going on, and he seems confused back in our world to begin with. So, putting that all together, that's what it seems to me. Whatever's going on, that's why these footprints are all over the place. They do seem to be heading in a specific direction, though. And as he says that, the two of you break out of like the edge of the woods, and you see before you huge meadow, amazing landscape. There's like a river up somewhere. There's like a mountain. There's mountains in the distance. You're vaguely sure that you might be able to see the ocean, but you're not entirely sure on that yet. But you notice the footprints are still heading in the same direction, and from what you can tell, they are heading in the direction of this huge kingdom. There's a full, straight-up castle. There seems to be buildings. There's a big, like, stone wall surrounding it, and there's buildings in there, and there's people over there. You do also, as you're doing this, you see there's also a pathway that probably is what leads from the village to the kingdom, that passes between some rocks. And you do see some figures doing something, like distant figures, but they're not in the same direction as the tracks.
He goes, Mike, are you seeing this?
Yeah, it's amazing. I don't. It only has one sun too. This place feels like Earth. if I'm being honest.
She goes, I've never been to Earth. What's it like?
Like this. I mean, well, what it used to be, at least. I remember reading that there's some lesser developed planets that still use like kingdoms and castles and whatnot. I've never had to go to a planet like that myself, mainly because most of the governments don't allow us to bring high technology into certain areas. Freaks out, natives and whatnot. It can go very badly if you do that. But that aside, this place looks, and he's just this looks like Earth. Real quick. So before I jump to the others, do you keep following the tracks? Oh, I'll be back. Okay, gotcha.
She still follows the tracks, however, she gives him a pat on the behind the ear and goes, You're really smart, Mike. I'm glad you're with me. And she continues to walk forward following the trail.
So you two continue down the path, popping back over. Welcome, Ponchi. Your timing is perfect, actually.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
So, Atlas. Just so you know, we can't hear you, Ponchi. Are you talking? Oh wait, nope. There you are. Now we can hear you. Oh my goodness.
Just a sudden hello.
So, Atlas, you awaken. Now, no one else knows this as far as I know, unless you guys have been telling everybody, but oh yeah, Mizu had to go do something. Atlas, you awaken in bed with Skyora's body on top of you. You remember the events of what happened in the last couple hours.
Yes.
Both of you roll me a d20, please.
A D20.
Just the d20.
Okay.
I got a 9.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. I got 16.
16.
Oh.
Alice, you wake up first. How do you react to this?
How do I react to this?
Well, you remember the events of last night. Not last night, but the last couple
Yes.
hours. Still a bit tired, but you've got her body on top of you. Do you try to wake her up? What are you doing? Also, keep it PG-13. We are streaming.
First, he wakes up, confused on where he is. Then he notices Skyora. Then he's like, "What happened? What the hell happened?"
Oh yeah, cause he did.
What the? So he tries to wake up Skyora. He's like, "Hey, what are you doing? what?
Is he trying to push her off of him?
I don't know. What is it? He's trying to wake you up, apparently.
No, he can't." Man. He sort of like taps her, like, "Hey, wake up! What are you doing?"
Should I roll to see if I wake up?
I'm gonna let you decide whether or not you wake up.
Skyra, you know what? I'm rolling. I'm rolling a d6. Even if she wakes up, odd she does not. It's a 3. Okay, she does not wake up.
She does not wake up. Atlas, she is not awake.
Oh, shit. He notices that he fails, so now he's trying to get off under her.
Roll. Okay, So are you trying to lift her off you, or are you trying to like squiggle out?
Squiggle out.
Roll me. It's just a hard one. Roll me acrobatics.
Oh boy.
A 3.
Oh man, you try to. Why are the two of you rolling so bad right now? You try to get out of this, but you end up instead like going like you try to pull yourself lower, and now like you now she's on top of you in a way you can't breathe anymore. So, and this is the first time you've ever had to deal with oxygen.
Titty. Titty. Now he's suffocating from the tank.
Roll me another d20, Skyra.
Do I have 2 rolls? Am I surviving for a saving throw?
Roll me. Hold on. Roll me, Skyra. Roll me a check on
Is this
d20
a fight
or
for my life?
just roll me a d20. Hold on, not you, Skyra. Roll me a d20 if you wake up.
I got a 16.
Okay, so you wake up and you don't see him under you because he's lower now. So you look and you see an empty pillow. He's gonna die.
Sky's like, she's like, she's like, that was a great night or a great few hours at Alice. She like kind of like lifts her body up. And she's like, oh, there you are.
He is flat as a pancake, full on cartoon. So, did the two of you like get up, get dressed, or anything?
She's like, well, I had a lot of fun last night. That was great. Did you have fun?
What happened?
What do you mean, what happened? You don't remember?
I remember small parts of it, but I'm not sure. Did we? Oh my god. Wait. Let me check something. He, like, checks his legs and he's like, okay, I can still feel them.
Y'all are laughing right now. I'm sure y'all are laughing. I'll be straight up with y'all right now. I had to sit through. Well, not had to. I chose to, but I sat through the entire roleplay session. So, yeah, that was.
Yeah, so G was watching us.
Yeah, I will note. Roll me. You do notice that the frog is still sitting on the desk, watching you with like the most bored expression ever.
Wait, was that frog always there?
He looks at you like, really?
She goes, yeah, that frog's been there.
Now that
It's been there ever since.
Now that Skyora has lifted herself off of you, though, you begin to feel blood rush down to your legs. You can feel your lower half again. So, do the two of you get dressed or anything? Because as far as you know, everyone else left.
She's like, I had such a great time. That was
Where's everyone else?
Huh? Oh yeah, I don't know. Because, you know, I only remember as much as you do. Because of the fact that, you know, you got mad at Nizu, remember? And then taking the room, I calmed you down. Then I had to calm something else down.
Oh, I see. Okay, I remember everything now.
Atlas, could you real quick roll me a D100?
I will roll a D100. Give me a second.
Let me tell you, you are trying not to get anything under. You want to get something above a 20, is what I'm telling you right now.
I got a 17. Oh god.
So the two of you get out of the bed, and you're a bit grimy and whatnot. Well, not yeah. Uh, but as you're there, Atlas, as you get up, you see your armor has been just thrown across all over the place. You're not. There's even like one of your like the gaunt like you notice that your sword is somehow impaled in the ceiling. You don't know what that's all about. But as you go to get some of your stuff, suddenly everything goes eerily quiet, and you hear a break,
Oh.
a little cracking noise. You look around you. Everything has shattered like glass, and you are in a void. Once again, a familiar void that you have seen multiple times. And, well, one time actually. No, not multiple. One time. And this void, there's nothing around you right now. And you notice your body is back in the robotic form.
Oh. So like but is Atlas like in some sort of like, can he feel his body?
Does he touch his own body to see if he can feel anything? Like
Yeah.
You can feel yourself. Yeah, you touch your own body. You can feel your body. It feels the way it normally does, at least the way it used to before you came to this world, and so it feels normal.
All right. Well, Atlas is like, and he's confused, but he's like sort of glad that he's back in his normal body. He's like, oh, I'm back to normal. Oh, that's a relief.
Okay, but you're in a void right now. There's nothing but black around you right now. You don't feel like you're up, down. You don't even feel like you feel like there's no gravity, but you're not feeling the effects of zero gravity right now.
Okay, so it's just a pitch blackness. There's like, is there a ground?
You don't see anything below you. You feel like you're standing on. You feel like you're standing on nothingness. Roll me a perception real quick.
Okay. A perception. Okay. Wait, will I have to use my classic or future?
Actually, you know what? Yeah, roll me with the future with your future sheet. Actually.
Okay, I'll do that. Let me go get it. Okay. Okay. So I rolled an 11. Okay, that's plus my perception here in the future. That is 11 minus 5. Oh. Oh.
Yeah, what feels like a few minutes go by with nothing happening until finally at one point you see something in the distance. Like a few minutes go by with you like nothing happens, but you do see something in the distance.
Okay.
You don't know what it is.
Can I like do like a history check? Maybe I've seen it somewhere before.
You cannot identify what it is from this distance.
Okay. Then Atlas will move closer.
You think about moving closer, and rather than walking, you take like a step, and it gets brought up like a few feet away from you now. You're right in front of it, and you see this thing. What looks to be a ginger cat licking its paw in front of you. As you come up to it, it turns its head, it looks at you, and squints its eyes in a surprisingly human way. What are you doing here? You don't know. You're not supposed to be here yet. There's something going wrong.
What do you mean by...
What?
What do you mean by that?
You're not supposed to be here yet. The reflection hasn't broken yet. You need to go back. And you come back. You're in the classic world again, in your form. You notice that, Skyora, no time has passed for you whatsoever. So Atlas just gasps in front of you for no reason.
Atlas? Are you okay?
You know, he started feeling his own body. Is like, what? Oh, dang it!
Huh? Are you?
No, it's nothing. It's nothing. I just, well, I guess I'm still relatively dizzy from the little thing we did. Just give me a second.
Did you lose oxygen because my boob squished your face or whatnot?
You know what? That's probably a very good reason.
Wow. So,
Let's go with that for now.
you guys get dressed?
She's like, well, before we go, I'm gonna clean all this up.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm gonna do that.
Right as you guys finish cleaning yourselves up.
Kind of cleans up the stuff.
Okay. Right as soon as you guys finish up cleaning up yourselves and the place, suddenly the doors explode open. You see Mizu, Emmett, and Pog there. Pog flies over to you, Skyora, is like, seemingly like waving their arms around. And Emmett sees the frog and says, "Oh, Jay, there you are." And he walks over, grabs the frog, puts him on his helmet. He's like, "Oh man, thought I lost you there. Hey, you two. You two okay?" Looks at the two of you.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, we're alright.
Okay. Well, no time to lose. We might have a lead on where the kid is.
Wait, what? Really?
Stanley, yeah. We think we're not sure what he's become, but we're pretty sure we know where he's going.
Well, what? Do we have any specific area?
Yeah, come with us. And Emmett goes out the door with Mizu and now the frog, and Pog like waves his tail like, "Come on." Do you guys go with them?
Atlas does go with them, yes.
We did Skyra finish cleaning up
Yes, you did.
the place?
I will say you did finish cleaning up.
Did both of them also clean themselves up?
Yes.
You didn't have time for that.
Oh boy. Oh boy. So that means that, doesn't that mean when Mizu comes back she might have to roll?
She already rolled. She gave me a 16 on the thing. So you guys head back. You head on your way, and you guys are like bolting. You guys are running down the way that they show you. You guys make your way. You end up finding the same clearing that the others had found, with the black footsteps on the trees and on the leaves and the ground and everywhere. However, you notice there are a lot. You guys don't know this, but Mizu, Emmett, and the others would know that there's a lot fewer, and they seem to be fading out. Luckily, they're able to follow the trail, and you guys make your way. You make good time. If you could, Tila, could you? Actually, no. Everybody, roll me real quick in athletics, if you could. I'm gonna roll for a couple others as well.
And athletic.
I need a light. There we go.
Ooh. Okay,
Okay.
let's see what I will gonna keep.
12 for me.
12. All right. Cool.
So I got a 25 total.
Okay.
Because it's athletics, correct?
Yes, athletics.
Yeah, I got 25
Okay,
total.
and athletics. Oh, gee. Okay, I'm good in this one. Okay, I got a 7
Oh boy.
plus 2.
Oh my god. Oh, no.
So, okay. Jeez Louise, Pog got better than you. Okay, so you take off. Skyara, do you mind carrying him?
Yeah, I don't mind carrying Atlas.
You notice Atlas is slowing
Shadow
down
doesn't mind.
quite a bit. He's not used to not having a robotic body. So you end up having to swing him into your hold him like a dog basically, like a cat. You hold him like a cat. And yeah, admittedly,
You know,
Atlas,
like,
it
you know
feels
those
it feels
things where,
pretty good for you.
The guy who's holding the girl.
Yeah. Yes,
It
that
just
one.
runs. Yeah, that's how Skylar is with Atlas. Just
Straight up, yeah. You do this, and you're yeah, you guys run, and a 12. Okay, yeah, you guys you actually catch up with Tila and Mike fairly quickly. The team is brought back together as you guys make your way following these tracks. Yeah, Tila, you're walking. You're like not running, but you're kind of like half jogging with Mike, and you hear a and as dust clears, you see
that's not intimidating at all.
you see Skyora with Atlas in tow and Mizu and Emmett like coming up behind a little bit.
I am terrified. I see this thing going towards
Are you okay?
I pick up Mike and I dart out of the way.
Skyora, do you stop or do you keep running?
I keep running.
You run right past them.
What did you say? I keep.
Atlas, do you like? Do you keep running or no? It's like
No, she doesn't keep running. She just stops right in front of Tila and Mike. But then
Alright.
it's kind of funny that considering the fact that when she runs, it's thumping noise. And I find it even more ironic because she is an air elf and she became a Goliath.
Mm-hmm.
So she just basically was someone who was really light and became someone who was really heavy. So I don't think she's even used to like having really heavy footsteps because she wouldn't know.
Halfway through your run, you thought someone was chasing you till you realized that was you.
She runs, feels thumping, runs even faster. Scared of her own thumps.
Bruh.
I'm ready.
But yeah, you guys are here. How do you guys are back together.
Oh wait, does Tila roll
No?
to
Like, I don't think so, no.
Okay.
Like, she just was trying to get out of the way, but you didn't, like, run over her. You stopped, so.
Well, I wasn't talking about that, but I was talking more about the fact that Skyra and Atlas look a bit messy.
Well, this is roleplay. You guys can converse. What do y'all say to each other?
They can converse, yeah.
She's like, hi Tila.
Are you trying to get us run over?
No.
Huh? Oh, puppy sandwich. Hold on.
But I stopped. But I did stop.
She's holding Mike in her arms.
I'm not a puppy.
She sees
Bark. Bark.
Bart.
You mean like a hush puppy?
Growl.
What?
But I didn't. I stopped just in time. Okay, anyways. Oh yeah, I should put you down. Can you walk, Atlas?
I can try.
Okay, Skylar puts down Atlas to see if he can walk.
Okay, do I walk?
Roll me a Constitution check. It's a low roll. You don't have to roll high. Just yeah, roll me.
Imagine he gets a nat one.
Okay, 14.
You're good.
Oh, fuck.
Well, at least the blood circulation went to your legs. That's good.
It feels so good to feel my knees again.
Hila goes, points at the footprint and says, "Look, they're leading to this big city. I have a bad feeling. I hope no trouble has happened." She goes, "We need to hurry. He seems scared by judging his footprints. We must hurry and find him as fast as possible."
Alright. Let's go.
So Tila picks up Mike, and everyone together we go towards the city. Cam?
I'm here.
There?
So you head towards the city? Okay. No, hey, that's the thing. I'm trying to be. I want to allow you guys to like interact with each other more than you interact with me, is all. Because you guys spend more time with the NPCs than one another.
Well, no, she's like, "Hey, you almost ran me over," and then she took care of and put down Atlas, and she explained to them, "Hey, there's these
I heard it.
prints are heading into the city."
Yeah, no, I heard it. You're good. Yeah, you guys head towards the city. Well, it's a bit of a trek, but you're all right. During this journey, you make your way. You see that when you come up to the footprints go to the wall of the city. They don't go through the doors. So, but they do go into the wall, and then there's like what you see is a shadow on the wall, as if it's a part of the wall, and the footprints end there. So, yeah.
Tila bends down and touches it.
Nothing happens when you take your hand off. This same material that makes up the footprints rubs off on your hands. It feels like dust, but it also feels like it looks like it has the texture of dust, but it also feels like it has no feeling whatsoever at the same time.
She looks at Emmett and goes, "Have you ever seen anything like this before?
It's like,
Has any of you seen anything like this before?"
That's a good question. About Skyor and Atlas, have either of you seen anything like this before? This like void stuff, whatever it is.
Atlas would probably like assume it looks familiar from the void place he witnessed, but he doesn't want to really talk about it, so he stays quiet. He's like, I don't know.
Does Skyra take note of that?
You know what, Atlas? Roll me a deception.
Alrighty.
Uh,
Okay, that is
Mhm.
17
Oh,
with my classic deception -1.
-1, 16. Emmett, Mike, and Pog don't pick up on anything. Tila and Skyora, if you want to try and roll perception, you may.
No, I didn't do so well. That was a 5. I am not doing good today.
Let's see
Well,
about.
my perception is -1, so that was a 4. So I definitely did not do well.
Wait, do I roll as well?
If you want. Like, are you trying to see if he's lying?
Sure. Oh, she got a she got a 2.
Neither of you. He's telling the straight truth right now. He said he doesn't know what this is. He has no idea. He's an honest boy.
Is he lying?
You can't tell. From what you can tell, he's being dead honest with you right now. He's like being super honest. You've never seen a more honest cat in your life.
Yes, I'm going to grab your cat-like tongue and
Okay.
I'm going to pull it out of your mouth and claw
Okay,
you.
the way you spoke like that, Atlas, sounds like you are lying. 'Cause you spoke
Okay,
like
hold
that
on.
a
I'd
few
like to
times
point
before
out,
you
I
actually
just
spoke.
told you guys that to you guys, based on that perception, your characters think he's telling the truth. So,
Yes, I know. I was joking and saying, like, I'm going to and declaw you.
I know, but I mean Skyora.
Well,
Skyora, like,
you're not going to do that because I'm telling the truth.
exactly. He is telling the truth. He's telling the truth.
So Tila then looks at
Okay.
Mike and shrugs her shoulders, and she gets up and continues to follow along the wall. She's trying to find out if there's something on the other side.
Uh-huh.
Sorry. Go
Okay.
ahead, go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, you guys go across the wall and you see what seems to be a large gate with straight up medieval knights guarding it. But the gate's open. People are walking through perfectly fine. They're not stopping anybody. So, let me roll for something real quick. Okay. What do you guys decide to do? Like, you see this gate. It's a big old gate. You notice that there are doors that can close, but they're fully open right now. People are passing through, doing business, whatnot. There's a lot of bustle and hustle and bustle going on inside of this city, kingdom, whatever. Yeah.
Are anybody bothered by her appearance? Is what I'm trying to pick
Well,
up.
do you go close enough for you?
What does she look like?
She looks like a dragonborn.
Huh?
As you.
I know, but like, well, what?
Mhm.
No one's really. I'm not. Well, Alice is not bothered.
Mhm.
Yeah, but like I don't know why, but I just have this feeling that like with major cities and dragonborns, I don't know if that's normal.
So you come to the city. Tila, nobody looks at you like anything's weird, but they do. And same go. They do give Skyora some looks. Like, seeing Goliaths in this town is not very common, especially since seems Goliaths are more in colder climates. This is not a very cold climate at all. So seeing her is a little unique. Some of them give her looks. Atlas is gets a few looks as well. Like, it's more like they're looking at you guys like a group. Probably the one getting the most stares right about now is Emmett, because they've never seen anyone that looks like him before. To the degree that one guard comes up to you guys and goes up. Might I ask what you're doing in our fair city?
Tila turns around and goes, yes. Excuse us, sir. We are looking for a lost child.
A lost child here in Baskerville City. I have not seen anything of the type.
We are looking for a lost child. He's very dark in color, with white eyes, and he seems to be lost.
Dark in color. There's humans of all colors in this. What species is he exactly? Or race, perhaps? A dragonborn, perhaps?
She's like, not quite sure, but we
a human-born. Strange way of putting it, but you are dragonborn. Huh. I guess it might seem weird for me to call you a dragonborn and you call me a human. That makes sense now that I think about it. That aside, what is? I must ask, that individual. I've never seen armor like that before, and he like uses his lance to motion towards Emmett. It's quite unique.
She's like, I wouldn't get too close to him. If you do recall, the plague. He is one of the remaining survivors. I wouldn't go near
The
him.
plague! Bunch of people start screaming as soon as you say that and running off, and several guards hear him shout this and pull up their lances and aim them at you guys. It's like, I suggest you step away, madam. This is a matter of great import.
Why did you have to say that?
She was like, I was hoping they would just not bother him, but that was a bad idea.
Couldn't you have just said that he didn't like to be near or around people, or
Technically,
people
he
with sharp
looks like a
objects?
very weird plague doctor. That's what I was trying to explain to him, is that he looks like a...
What are you saying amongst yourselves? Speak now, forever hold your peace. This man right here, you say he is dangerous. He has a disease. You must stand back, or you shall catch it as well.
No, sir.
The plague is a dangerous,
Sir,
dangerous thing.
She's like, Emmett, play along. You're our plague doctor.
If you
Okay.
have him as a plague doctor, then they're gonna think that he can heal people.
It's true.
Can you heal people, Emmett?
Yes. I am not you see Emmett raise his hands. Wait, listen, I do not have the plague. Then what is going on? What she says that you do? No. Look, I am a plague doctor. You know, doctor? You know that word, right? They look at him suspiciously. Let's see if she can deceive him. Okay, that's a 19. They go, wait.
Bro.
A plague doctor. Truly, you dabble in medicines and whatnot. Yes, I'm a little bit low in supply right now since I've been traveling with these fine individuals who have protected me along the road. They're my compatriots. They look to you guys and they bow. Some of them bow. It's like, thank you for protecting medicine. It's like, medical people are hard to come by. Please, sir. Sir. Make your time here at Baskerville City a fine one. In fact, you're a plague doctor, right?
Just pinches the center of her eyes.
A plague doctor, right? Not only are you his warriors. And he's like, yes, not only are they my warriors, they're also my wonderful assistants. He puts an arm around Atlas. This one especially. Taught him everything he knows. Yeah. Plus, we both match. He motions to the orange on his suit, and then the ginger color of your body, Atlas. See, we match and everything. Right? Isn't that right, Atlas?
He like squints his eyes at him, and he's like, "Sure."
Exactly. I'm teaching him everything I know. This is my lovely wife Mizu right here. Motions to Mizu. And he says, "Oh, an entire group of doctors practically. The king will want to speak with you. It is a matter of great urgency. Please follow me." And the guards get around you and begin leading you down the road.
Oh. Oh no.
More coverage. I like it.
So, you guys are walking down the road. Give me a second. I need to roll something.
Oh my.
Okay. So you guys are making your way down the road. You go down this road, and you get to you come up to the what seems to be this castle. You notice there are some people who are like coughing and seem a little bit sickly. But it's a very good kingdom. Doesn't seem like a poor kingdom. Just seems like they've been having some troubles. But you guys make it to the front of the castle, and he's like, "Open the gates! The gates are open!" "No, they're not. I'm looking at them right now." Oh, okay, no, you're right. My bad, my bad. And then you open the gates. And you guys make your way into here. Um, as you make your way into this place. This castle is, it's good as far as castles go. It's mostly made of stone, but the pillars and whatnot are very well carved. There's wooden, the like tables and chairs though are all wooden. And you see up at the front of this big room is there's a man sitting on at a throne, leaned over, one of his hands like he's doing the full on like royalty like pose kind of thing, like rubbing his beard. It's like, Colonel Sanders, please tell me who are these individuals you've brought before me today? He says, these, sir. It's like, I have before you, and he motions to Emmett, a plague doctor and his associates. The king says, truly, truly. He looks at the lot of you for confirmation. Emmett nods his head. The rest of you.
Oh my. Okay. Hello, I live.
Hello, Mizu. Everyone thinks you guys are a bunch of doctors. You're apparently Emmett's wife, and you're in front of a king right now.
Oh. Wait. Okay. I won't complain.
Yeah.
Basically, like, they were getting very suspicious of Emmett because of his suit, and I tried to explain to them that he was a plague doctor because, plague doctors cover their bodies from head to toe.
Well, that's true.
And I was like, that's the best way I can describe why why this man was covered so strangely. And I'm like, he's a plague doctor, and we are his nurses.
Well,
in both cards.
and that's his wife. What? What?
But you guys were already married.
So do you guys say?
Yeah,
do you guys say
that's
that?
my wife.
Do y'all say like? What do you guys say in front of this king? Because the king's like, "Is it true? The lot of you dabble in medicines and magic. Please tell me it is."
Yeah. I have a magic hat.
And Tila bows and goes, why, yes, of course we do.
Ah, it is good. It is good to hear. Our city has been stricken with disease as of late. While it has not grown to terrible proportions just yet, there are some neighboring kingdoms that have done worse than we have. It is very good to see you. That, along with the ghost, has been quite an endeavor.
A ghost, you say?
Oh, yes.
What the heck?
There have been words and sightings in the nearby villages of a creature traveling around the world disguised as a dark child. It has been most disconcerting. Luckily, it has not come into our village, our kingdom. But even if it had, trust me, we would take care of it with swift motion.
Oh dear.
Tila's like, she's like, Your Majesty. She goes, may we offer our services. We are merely humble servants to the plague doctor.
To me,
Our
yes.
specialty is defense.
Okay, Emmett, sweetie, you're gonna have to shush for a second. Oh my.
She's like, we're merely humble servants to the plague doctor.
Very humble,
Our
yes.
specialty is to protect and defend.
The most humble of all.
And protect and defend we shall. While we do offer our services in magic and healing, ridding the earth of unsightly and undead creatures is our specialty as well.
Oh, truly.
Perhaps we can help you find this ghost and ease your kingdom's troubles for you.
You hear one guard like, dang, such great multitaskers. The king goes, yes.
That's true.
Prithee, it would be good to be aided in such a way. I will not turn away help with our city, but please, I ask that at least some of you take a look at our sick and tend to them first if you could. I care deeply for my people. I do not wish for any more to die, especially at the hands of some creature. Absolutely, yes. Yes. In fact, my assistant here should join us as well. While the others do the searching.
What the heck? I don't know how to feel with them speaking like this. Like, yeah.
This is the
That's
most
all I hear
forced.
from Emmett right now.
This is the most forced you've ever heard him
My poor
sound.
boy.
It's like, aha, yes. Because yes, you're right, Tila. Because I am a doctor. That's- He lost me too. Because yes, I am a doctor, and that is what doctors do: heal. Worry not, Your Highness. We will handle this situation swiftly. And from you notice he starts talking in a muffled voice all of a sudden, and he clicks a button on the side of his helmet. It seems the battery on his speaker is dead.
Jesus Christ.
He can't talk anymore.
He stopped talking. Oh, thank God.
Like under the
I'm telling you, it's not anything.
Without the helmet?
Okay, Emmett, baby. I think let's get us.
Hila goes, oh, yes, he's already started the sanitation process with his mask, with his witch doctor, or his plague doctor masks. We will see to those people right away. You may not be able to hear him as he is fully sterile now. And she helps Mizu take each arm and escort him out.
Poor Emmett. He's going through it.
And you guys
I
take
just imagine that frog just on his head, just unamused as he's being taken away.
full on. It's like one of them is like, "What's with the frog?" Oh, hey, I hear plague doctors. They're always weird. They always got all plague doctors have like a pet or something they can test on. Oh, that makes sense. That makes sense. It looks like a weird frog anyway.
What? Okay.
Can I use guiding bolt to charge his a tiny?
Oh, that sound. No, that is not lightning. That is not lightning. That is not lightning.
To charge his speaker.
Give me a second.
That
Let
is
me look up. Let me, what's it called? Charge bolt.
It's radiant. It's not
Charge
lightning.
bolt. No. She wouldn't know that. Hey, you can't. Hey, you trying to metagame this? Let me see. Charge bolt.
No, it's radiant.
DnD. And how would she know that?
Oh, God, no.
Well, I'm just. No, and she's like, bro, don't do it. It's not smart. This is radiant
Let me
damage.
see. What is it called? Charge bolts.
Because Mizu has. Not Mizu, Masha. Masha's got that.
Wait, is it charge bolts or fire bolts?
She's like,
That's how I know. Mizu
no.
don't know,
She
but
has
still.
guiding bolt.
Guiding bolts. Got you. Let me see how this will help
R.I.P.
him.
That does a lot of damage. That's all I can say. A lot of damage.
Let me
That's
just-
a lot of
Damn
damage.
it.
Let me see.
Yeah,
Guiding
that's a
bolt.
lot of damage. Remember
There's a
that
lot
one
of
shot I
damage.
flung at that.
So let me look at this.
Still, Emmett, I'm going to charge you.
He's like, he looks at you and nods his head. Like,
Oh, this is
let me look at this.
A lot.
Okay,
He's gonna become Frankenstein.
roll me an attack. Roll me an attack.
Me?
Yes, you. Yes, you for being a fool.
I am back. I live.
Roll me a d20 plus your wisdom. Since I don't quite have the
Oh,
attack set up.
Lord have mercy. Don't blow my boy's head off. All right?
What?
Just imagine she gets a nat 20.
D20 plus your wisdom. What did you get?
You killed him.
Me a d20 plus wisdom?
Yep.
Okay. I just imagine instead of it actually working, it just blinding light. Emmett's blind for the rest of the day.
Oh, my wisdom's negative, so you might save your lucky stars.
What'd you roll?
So I rolled a 3 minus 1, so
Fail
that's 2.
So you like hold up your hand to this guy and you're thinking, okay, I seem to have strange powers.
-7?
Maybe this weird ether creature from apparently the ethereal that has been talking to you um, can help you out with this.
Nah, bro.
You put your hand out and you just think, "Holy, do something great," you know, and from your hand you see something form. A glowing green and golden light starts to swirl around your hand, and everyone starts to stare in awe. You begin to glow a bright light as sunlight, even though this place is enclosed. Sunlight somehow shines in, and then
Oh god.
from your hand, a lily pad discus shoots out, golden and green, and hits the wall, barely missing his head. And everyone kind of goes silent for a moment as you realize, you almost just straight up cut off his head or split his skull in two. Um,
Oh
Yeah.
boy.
Oh my god. What were you? What was that?
His reflexes are good. Ready for plague doctor.
Alright.
Let's go.
Oh,
Continue to roleplay amongst yourselves. I gotta do something. I'll be right back.
She's like,
oh yeah, he's got
trying
the
to
reflexes. Excuse
I was
me.
trying. She's whispering. She's like, I was trying to charge his microphone so he could talk. Okay, I didn't. I thought I saw. I did this once when I was in a fight, and I thought it was lightning, and lightning is electricity, and I was going
You know
to try
what?
to charge
I
his
gotta
microphone.
say. You know what I gotta say?
Yes,
sad
but
how
you know
in
what
this
you
world
could have
I-
done instead? Killed him.
No, you know what? Mizu actually has an affinity for lightning too. That's the thing, but she don't have any lightning spells here. Yeah, that's why she was just about to say, "Hey, this is disappointing. I could have done it, but yeah, it's blocked today. I guess this world said that's blocked. No electricity, no chaos today.
Darn. And I
Yeah,
almost
it would be
chopped
nice,
this shit off with radiance.
but now I don't have my
Chopped this shit off
trident.
with Radiance.
Yeah, you
Oh
tried
my God.
murdering that man.
You nearly.
I'm so glad you failed that, because you could have killed him. I would have been mad.
The evil
my
Oh my
laughter.
goodness.
Why are you laughing like that? You're scaring me.
I love how it just turns innocent and then it slowly turns into an evil laugh. Like that was her plan all along.
Oh my god, y'all gonna mad.
Bro.
I'm sorry, that was
Um,
just too funny. Oh my
Bro.
goodness.
I'm scared.
What the fuck? I have to break that
I'm not
face. Whoa,
officially
that.
scared of.
Don't be scared.
I got a question.
I'm
Tila,
scared.
does Tila have Death Ward?
Be glad.
Tila does not have Death Ward. She has
Because that would
only level one
actually,
spells.
if he ended up down, we could just heal him later.
I have Guidance, Sacred Flame, and Light. Those are my cantrips. I have Guiding Bolt, Bless, Cure Wounds. That's why I was like, I'm the cleric apparently, so let me go with him so he doesn't make a fool of himself as a plague doctor.
Mizu has some medical knowledge.
Bane, I don't know what Bane is.
I
Command,
forget what Bane does.
create and destroy water. Detect good and
I
evil.
have that.
Detect magic, detect poison and disease. I was going to use that. Healing word, inflict wounds. Protection from good and evil.
Oh yeah, not Mizu. Masha has bestow curse, and then remove curse.
Purify
But
food
she
and
has
drink.
insect swarm. My gosh, just insect swarm. That's terrifying.
Sanctuary and shield of faith. That's all I have.
You know what's kind of funny? I was looking at the sorcerer spell list because Skyar is a sorcerer in the original, well, in the classic D&D, and I try to look for anything that has the ability of healing, but I see everything of the opposite. Like one of the ones I see is Ray of Sickness.
Bruh.
Like I could imagine like her being like, "I'll help heal," and she just makes everyone sick instead. And then she's like, I tried. Basically, whoopsies. But she doesn't actually have that as a spell, but I see that as a spell that she could have.
Just oopsie daisy. I didn't mean to do that.
They're like, oh, so you're the one who's been getting everyone sick.
Does my evil laugh scare you, Punchy?
Yes.
I'm making him sick. Don't be scared.
That's so funny because Amir said the same thing. He's like, "Oh my gosh, I've never been so scared in my life."
Don't be scared, Atlas.
Because like
I should actually use Masha's control weather then.
Amir was like doing something, and his dad told him to do the dishes, and he was on speakerphone because he didn't have headphones in. And Improv said, "I fricked your mom" in Russian, and his dad goes, "What did you say, you little shit?" in Russian, and he's like, "Oh my gosh, Improv! If I end up in a Russian orphanage, I'm blaming you." And I started breaking out into an evil laugh, and he's like, "That's one, no, that's so scary."
I'm back. Okay.
Oh
So,
my god.
the lot of you.
You missed it, wrong. I told them the story about how Amir almost ended up in a Russian orphanage because Improv said was on speaker on his phone, and when his dad told Amir to do the dishes, and before he could reply, he said, "I fricked your mom" in Russian, and his dad went ape shit.
Oh, okay, that story. Okay.
Oh no.
He's like, "What did you say, you little shit?" And he's like, "Improv, you're trying to get me killed." And he goes, "If I end up in a Russian orphanage, I'm blaming you."
Wow. Anyway.
And his dad comes in and goes, "What are you guys learning?" He goes, "Russian." He goes, "Yeah, good Russian."
Wow.
Yeah, good. Right.
Russian of me saying I effed your mom. Yeah, totally.
Well, I hope everyone in the stream enjoyed that story. I hope everyone here enjoyed that little story on the stream. But this is the first time we've had the full stream, and it's not like lagging. It's wonderful. Okay, so you guys, apparently you guys separate yourselves. So, real quick, I've been waiting for the sequence. So who is going to go in for the medical stuff, and who's going to search for Stanley right now?
I say we split up.
It's gonna.
So she's gonna point at Atlas. She's gonna point at Atlas and Skyora to go look for Stanley, while with she looks at Mike and goes, "Mike, do you want to help them, or do you want to stay with us?"
He looks at them and he says, "Well, as much as I hate to call myself, yeah, I'm a dog, right? Oh, well, not that I hate. I've always been proud of myself being a dog. Don't get me wrong. But with the current situation, my skills would probably be best searching for the kid. At the same time, I do have some actual medical experience, but there's not much I can do with the paws."
She goes, "That's okay. Good boy." She kisses his nose and sees him off as he goes to Atlas and Skyora.
All right.
Actually, can I try to release the ice wolf to help them?
Yeah, actually, totally. So, I will say that you kind of pick up on what all you need to do is take from last time. Based on what happened last time, you kind of pick up on all you really need to do is take a flower off your head and drop it, and it seems to bring the creature out. Full on Pokemon ball.
What are you doing, summoning my familiar? I'm just gonna call it my familiars in this world, because yeah. What are you doing, summoning my familiar?
Mm-hmm.
Ice wolf.
So you do that. Floosh. He comes up and he's like, "Oh, Relrin, what happened? I was reaping. What happened?"
Okay.
That was so cute. Sounds like Scooby-Doo.
Rizu, what do you read of me?
What do you read?
He's like, Scooby Doo. Raggy.
Not the laugh.
I didn't hear whatever happened because my earbuds, I had to turn them off.
Well, he looks at you, Rizu, and he goes, Rizu, what do you read of me?
When he heals people, he laughs.
Man did the
What do you tell the ice wolf?
Scooby! Hey, Scooby! I'm gonna. Oh my goodness. I would like you to help
What
aid
is
them
his name,
in the
actually?
search for my son.
He tries
Oh,
to lift up a
actually,
paw to salute you, but
Shouldn't
quickly
say that
realizes
out loud.
that a dog's body isn't designed for salutes, so he can only bring it up so far. Roll
Oh,
problem.
so it's just probably like look like a pod. Oh.
Yeah, it looks like he pawed.
Chico.
She's like, roll problem, and he turns around and he's like, wrong, and he goes right up to Mike.
Wait.
Wrong, right me.
Wait.
And Mike's like, are you?
Wait, Scoop.
Are you?
Your head shock.
I don't mean this as in, okay, I don't mean this as, like, he's like running around Mike. What you guys are seeing are two dogs that are like, one's super like rowdy, the other one's like more reserved. And Mike like looks at the other, like you guys, he's like, okay, I really don't want to be offensive. But like, he's not like brain problems, right? He's good. Like, he's just Right can run to roar.
He's like that. It was just like that.
Okay, he's
It's
just
like,
like,
well,
okay,
he is
cool.
a sentient wolf, ice wolf, or an
Okay.
ice wolf to be exact.
Yeah,
so.
it didn't speak at first, and then I pet it, and now it speaks.
Gotcha. Okay, that explains a
So-
lot. Okay, what's his name?
Yep. That's the story of Scoop.
So-
Scoob.
He never.
To like give
Are you-
him a kiss on the nose before he left with the others.
Like he did, like while he was talking to you guys, you didn't notice he like you see him yelp, he like yelp, and he turns around. Scoob was trying to sniff his rear like dogs do, and he's like, "No, bad Scoob, don't do that." And Scoob's like, "Oh, runner, oh, right, we're not roast like that, my rad." And they go off. Atlas, Skylar, and the two dogs go off on their own.
Wait, what? What do you want me?
So you guys are gonna go search. A lot of you go off. A lot of you go off right now as Emmett, Tila. So Emmett, Tila, Mizu, and Zanar's in your pouch right now. You guys, excuse me.
I'm sure
Is there anyone? Huh?
I'm gonna need
And
access to healing herbs, bruh.
Got you. Hey, so you guys lead, like, head off to wherever the guards show you where they're talking about where the sickest people are, and they bring you to this like building,
Holy shit.
and there's a guy in there who, okay, Emmett gets dragged to a different room. You guys though is like somebody comes up to you wearing like gloves. Is like, I heard that you guys are the assistants to the plague doctor, right?
Ew. You gonna need
That is correct.
Okay, well, we're gonna need all the help we can get. Quick, we've got a case of Margalo, and he like waves you guys to follow him. Who goes with him? Only one of you needs to go with him. This guy, you.
I guess.
Oh,
Who's going?
Tila, you follow him as she's heading off. Mizu, someone taps your shoulder. Hey, I'm gonna need. I was like, you're with them, right? I need your help. There's one person. Sandstorm sickness. It's serious.
Sandstorm. What the heck is
He becomes a Sandman.
Like I wasn't prepared for sandstorm sickness. What is this?
So you go with him. All right, give me a second. I'm gonna decide who I go with first. Odds, I'm gonna do Tila's bit first, and evens, I'm gonna do Mizu's bit first. Okay, so we're gonna start with Mizu. Mizu, you get dragged, well, not dragged, but like led to a room, right? And you hear people getting coughing, sickness, or whatever. But as he brings you to this one room, he says, "It's a serious case. This guy has been out in the desert for a good while, and he came in here with sandstorm sickness. It's terrible. Follow me." He opens the door, And you look before you.
Sounds like he just needs water.
You look before you. What you
Yeah.
see is a man strapped to a chair, and he is
Oh my
shaking violently. You notice that sand is pouring out of his mouth right now. Part like not full on, but like it's dripping out of his mouth, and he's so
Dear
dry.
God.
He's like shaking violently. There's other people in this room. Ah, you brought a doctor. Thank goodness. Get her. Get her over here. Get her gloves. And they hand you.
Nurse.
No.
So
Power crash compels you.
it's like, doctor, you need to act quick. And Mizu, what do you do?
Exorcism.
Yo, I don't know how to cure this. I've never seen this before.
Doctor, this isn't any laughing moment. We got it. We're serious here.
She just goes, fuck this shit, I'm out.
You gotta do something. They've already shut the door. They've given you tools. There's a lot of things. What are you gonna do? What would you like to try and
Oh
do?
my.
Fuck a motherfucking stuff and leave.
What do you do, Mizu?
This poor guy is suffering.
So
He's just standing there.
it's like sand comes out.
I get it. How do you even get this sickness?
It's like, isn't it obvious? He stepped on a root. Jeez Louise, doctor, what are you asking stupid questions for?
Oh,
You gotta help the
really?
man. We're ready. They've got a bunch of tools. They're ready to hand them to you when at your moment's notice.
Mizu folds her arm, crosses her arms. She's like, okay, first off, back away from me. Y'all a little too close. Y'all crowding me.
Oh, yes, doctor.
Second.
Okay, they back off. They back off a bit.
Second, I'm surprised the sand hasn't filled this room yet.
There's a pile of sand underneath this guy. Are you going to try and help him?
I don't know how to help him.
Are you going to try?
Do it. Just do
You
it.
gonna try? Because here's the thing. They might find out you're. If you deny knowing anything, they might think you guys aren't doctors anymore.
Oh my god.
Exactly.
I want to help the man, but I don't want to make it worse.
Are you going? Are you going to attempt to help him? That's my only
One way to
question for
find
you.
out.
Oh my god.
There's only one way to find out.
Yeah, there's only one way to find out, I guess.
All right.
Oh my god.
If you could roll me a
This
medicine
man
check
stepped on a roof
and a nature
now
check.
sand is coming out of his mouth. Like, wow.
Could you roll me a medicine and a nature check real quick and tell me what you get on each?
What?
Medicine and nature. Can you roll both of those for me?
Jesus Christ.
Oh, this is gonna be entertaining.
Yeah, this is gonna be entertaining because I don't like this already. Oh, Jesus. Oh, fuck.
Oh.
Please. Oh, no. No,
That
I'm
didn't
looking
sound
at
good.
I'm looking at the sheet and I am scared.
Don't tell me. Oh
It
no.
can't be that. It cannot be that bad.
Watch, she's gonna cut his tongue.
You wanna know what her nature is? A -1, and her medicine is 0.
Oh boy.
If it was her actual sheet, it would be +4 for both. But I am screwed.
I mean, hey, you're rolling nature for a world you've never been in before. So,
That is very true.
so
Dear God.
let's see what you get.
16 plus 0 for medicine.
Oh wow.
Wait,
Okay.
What, Cam?
All right. Wait 1
Wow.
second. What, Granny? Hold on.
I was saying
Give me 1
that
second.
wait
Roll
till
your
Noah
nature
gets
check and
back.
tell me what it is when I get back.
I'm jealous.
There was a box.
When you get back.
His,
God
his,
dang it.
his grandma's calling him, so you're gonna roll.
Ooh, nature is the 19 minus 1.
Nara's gonna be
Yo, you did
Alright.
pretty good
I
job
am back. What'd you get on nature?
for someone who doesn't know.
What did you get on nature?
She did pretty good.
Let me calm down. I'm stressed out. I'm stressed out for a second. Okay, 19 minus 1 for nature.
Dang, okay, so you come up to this guy. I'll be frank, you don't really know what you're doing. But somehow, this like part of you that looks at this guy, right? You process in your head, okay, this is a man, this is a human person. Obviously not a dirt person, a sand person. And they've got sand in their body. Somehow that sand is being produced. So, we need to get whatever's producing the sand out of him. That's basically what you figure out. So, how do you proceed? I'm going to tell you, you will succeed, but tell me whatever, because with the rolls you did, you will succeed, but tell me what exactly you attempt to do to get whatever the source is out of him.
Remove the thorn that he stepped on.
He said root, but I couldn't.
He could be still stuck on his foot.
You still
I said I was gonna say I could attempt that. I can look.
You take a look at his foot.
There
Is indeed a root in his foot that you're pretty sure is all the way up to his knee.
I'm gonna look up and down first.
That's a what?
Okay.
Don't smell his feet.
No.
Smell his feet. I said I'm gonna look him up and down.
You look him up and down. You can tell that the sand.
Oh my goodness, you turn from look to lick.
Okay,
Oh
let's
my God.
calm it down a bit. Calm it down, everybody, just a little bit. You take a look.
Look him up and down, not lick him. What the heck?
Let's move away from that.
That's weird.
Move away from that. You look at him and you look him up. You look him up and down, and you kind of just. You can kind of tell that the root, while it got into his foot, had worked its way up to some area in his stomach, and that is where the sand is coming from, and that's why, yeah. This time you're taking to observe this, though, you notice that now the sand is also coming out of his nose.
Oh, Jesus. This poor man. Wait. He could suffocate like that now. But
You
okay.
can. You gotta act quick.
Okay. Well, hold on. Let me see. I kind of want to use water control to see if I can get it out. Shape water.
Okay. You take your water. You start to shape water. You notice there's actually a bucket of water nearby, and you take some of that, and you put it at this man, and the assistants look at you in awe, like, oh, this is the assistant of a plague doctor at work right here. And the water, you kind of just meant to slowly work it through the man's body, but it still feels a bit awkward working with this new body. The water shoves into every orifice on his face, like through his like eyes, ears, nose, everywhere, disappears into his body. There's a few moments of silence. You see his stomach pulsating, and then suddenly you like pull, and the water, the muddiest water you've ever, and muddy water, dirt and stuff and sand, vomits out a lot of with other things that he apparently ate earlier, and a cactus for some reason. Vomits onto the ground, and you see a little gem. You see a little gem with sand coming out of it. One of the assistants picks up a hammer, smashes the gem, and the sand stops getting created. All the assistant people. The work of a plague doctor's assistant. Couldn't have expected any less. What wonderful work.
Oh, God. Please. Back up. I like personal space.
One person comes up, puts a hand on your shoulder. She's like, that's the kind of work we expect at this place. That's what I like to see. You saved this man.
Yo, Mizu is, like, jumpy right now, so she smacks the hand. She's like, nope.
Understandable. I'm not worthy to touch someone like you. And then someone bursts open the door. Somebody has root jaw. We gotta get out of here. We gotta get some. We need a doc. Is that a doctor?
Oh my God.
So, what? While that's all going on, Tila, over at you.
It's like, help me.
No.
Helping the guy that had some
my
people that
God.
got apparently swamp fever or something.
You get brought into this room as you guys are walking down this hallways, and this guy says, "All right," he's like, "So I gotta tell you right now, this is some a serious case right here. I've never seen such a terrible example of." He leans in quietly. "Swamp sweat. I'm serious. It's a real case."
Cutting out,
Like,
bruh.
you don't
Swamp fever?
Yeah, swamp sweat. I hadn't seen this in a while. It's right up there next to swamp fever, swamp butt. There's a lot of different things like that. I just can't believe we've had one like this in the city. And he's laying you down the hallway.
I feel offended somehow.
He brings you to a door, opens a door, and you see before you what looks to be a big, like, container of water, of green, sludgy water. All right.
Hila's tilting her head and is like, huh.
That nasty.
She goes up to it and taps the glass.
You tap the glass, it gurgles a little bit, the sludgy water.
Fuck this shit on out.
She's pointing and she's
Is
like,
that stuff alive?
What do you say, Tila?
she points at the goo container and she's like, in there?
It's like, no, not in there. That is him. We need to reverse the effects as soon as possible before he's too far gone.
She's like, oh my. So she looks at one of her, she calls upon her inside and she's like, what can I do? I will do healing word.
You cast. Go ahead. Cast healing word. That's a spell. I don't think you really have to roll for it, do you? Let me see.
Nope.
You don't?
Says 60 feet instantaneous.
Healing word. You cast. So what do you say? What are the words that you say to cast healing word?
She says. So healing word. Her healing word, because it's a type of healing word. She taps. She holds on to the glass. And she says, revert.
Revert.
Which
you hear
is
a voice.
Return to what?
A soft voice in the back of your head.
Return to sender.
Okay.
The voice in the back of my head.
You hear that voice again. This calm, soothing voice speaks to you. And he says, "I'll be completely honest with you. That is the first time anyone said revert when they're trying to heal somebody. But I've heard your cry, my child." And glowing light glows from your body. From your body.
She goes to her god in her head. She goes, well, I don't just want to heal him. I want him to go back to normal. So that's why I use revert. Or I'm like, she goes, are you my god? She's like, she goes, do you know what revert means? And she's like,
yes, I know.
She's
what
like getting excited
means.
now.
I know what revert means. It's a common word. You seem. I'll be honest. I don't keep perfect track of all of my followers, my child. And I can't help but feel like you're new to this.
She clenches her jaw and I am opening up my other sheet. She clenches her jaw and she's like, gosh, you remind me of Joseph.
Oh, you remind me of Joseph. It's like, I don't know who that is, but I'm going to take it as a compliment. Here, and you feel the blessing power go through your veins. So you, let's see, healing word. You heal him by 1d4 plus your spellcasting ability modifier. So that should be on your page. It should say what your ability modifier is.
My ability modifier?
Your spellcasting ability modifier. It should be on the page where your spells are at. It should tell you on the top of the page somewhere.
spell attack bonus +2.
So I think a D4 plus 2 then.
Do I roll a D20?
No, just roll me a D4 plus 2 to see yeah.
That was loud. I'm
That's a
sorry.
3 plus 2. That's a 5.
All right, a 5.
Nice.
And
Hey, you know what we could do? We could literally put Tila in a room full of people, and then her just use Mask Cure Wounds.
that is true.
Well, I don't have that.
We can't do that. Everyone instant heal.
What she'll do is
Curse gone.
she'll do the spell of purify food and water, and that will be the healing.
That might not be a bad idea.
Mm.
So yeah, you say these words. What you say this? You have this whole conversation. While you've been having this conversation, your attention was kind of taken away from what was going on. So when your attention comes back to what's happening, the sludge had started like shaking violently, moving, and then eventually. And you see this humanoid thing. There's still the container still has a lot of sludge in it, but this humanoid creature is now half of its like the upper torso of a man basically is like.
Hila immediately grabs a medical towel from one of the tables, and she jumps in there, and she quickly wraps him around it, and she's like, "Are you okay?" She's wiping his face, trying to get him to help him.
He looks at you and says, "Oh, I can't feel my legs. I can't feel my legs."
Like, at the moment, you don't have legs, but don't worry. We're going to help you.
You notice a bubble starts to grow where his eye is, and a bit of sludge gets on you.
I hate that.
Wipes it away.
Fuck this shit.
I am taking a bath later, but okay.
I've not. I don't feel that bad. I'll be honest with you. This is a really surreal experience.
I can't hear you.
Sounds like a weird. Sounds like a nerd.
This is a really, really surreal, strange experience.
Sounds like.
He's like, don't worry. We'll have you feeling better in no
seriously,
time.
I feel so bad.
And then she helps him out of the container, and she asks pals to help wipe
You help him out of the container. There's sludge getting everywhere, but you notice like his bottom half, he kind of looks like a water elm at this point to you, kind of thing. He just looks around. You've covered him, and he's like, I know this is probably really inappropriate, but are you seeing anybody?
Oh, dude.
He's like, takes a slight sigh, and she goes, focus on healing first. Please,
I feel
sir."
great.
And then
I can't really feel most of anything, but I feel great.
then you
I can't
definitely
take
won't be
Stitch
enjoying
seriously.
any. She goes, and you're not going to be missing much at the moment for right now. So she says, I think it's good for you to lay down. She
Oh.
goes, we'll get you some soup.
Okay. He like at first looked like he was about to argue, but then you said soup, and he's like, my weakness. I really like soup.
She orders the people to bring him some soup, and if there's anyone else in the room, she does a purify food and drink spell,
Okay.
instantaneous, in a giant 10-foot by 5-foot square, like sphere, and it to bless the food and drink, and then she offers them all some nice soup and water.
Somebody was passing by when you casted that, holding a piece of bread, like it was like moldy bread, but they had to eat it. And then they take a bite of it, look at it, like, whoa, what the heck happened to this? It's like, oh, that's better than I thought it'd be. Huh. He continues walking down the path. Doesn't even know what happened. When you cast the Purify, though, you notice what ends up happening is from your body, a bunch of flies, like, but not straight up flies, but what look like magical flies, like leaving like streaks of green and
Butterflies.
gold spread out from your body and start flying around, and they land on the food, disappear, and the food suddenly, from the little flash, the food and water just starts to look much better than it did. You lay down the sludge
She's
guy.
like,
He starts making conversations with the nurse. he seems to be okay. But yeah, you get, as soon as you finish up, someone comes up and opens the door. Is like, you guys will never believe this. Barkskin, bad case of it, not the spell. And yeah.
dark skin. You sure it's not a
Bark, mother.
bark skin? Oh, bark skin. I thought you said dark skin. I thought he was
No,
talking
bark
about a
skin.
drow.
No, bark skin. Dang, you thought I was that racist? Okay, moving over to Atlas, Skyora, Mike, and the dog Scoob. The four of you
Dark skin.
head off in, like, you guys start searching. So, you guys want to start searching. There's a lot of different areas in the city. There's the market area, there's a sick area where the others have gone. There's the castle itself. There's the walls, the towers. Where do you want to go? Is there a place you're thinking of that I haven't mentioned? What would you guys like to do, Skyora and Atlas?
Just look around to see anything suspicious.
Okay. Do you look anywhere specific though? Like, where exactly do you look?
Like either at the walls or at the tower.
Okay. Atlas, are you in agreement with this?
Atlas nods.
Okay.
He agrees.
Sorry,
You guys are on your way to the wall, which is a little bit of a distance away. You're passing by different people. You go through the market area. You hear Scoob is talking to Mike nonstop. Rue, you like racing your rail as well? I love racing my rail. No, I don't chase my tail, but it's really fun. Or do you like to race rats? I don't like to race rats. No, race rats. Huh? Race rats. That's what I said. No, you're not understanding. They're like having their conversation behind you guys as you walk. But yeah, Atlas, Skyora, you come to the walls. What do you do?
Skyar would like to inspect the walls.
Like Atlas watches Skyora look at the walls.
Okay. Atlas, if you could roll me a perception check, and Skyora, if you could roll me an investigation check.
Yes, I'll roll perception. If it wasn't so bad. Alright, let me... Oh no, it's a +2. Oh, Jesus. Oh. Okay, so that's an 8 plus 2.
Okay.
Let's see. 10 plus 1, so I got an 11.
Okay. So the two of you, Atlas, you kind of, all you really notice is how big that rear end is on Skyora. The right size, perfect size. That's where your attention is. Your attention, you're not paying attention to much else.
He ain't paying attention.
Yeah.
He just
I
sees
got
the mountains.
distracted.
That's all he sees.
My goodness gracious. I thought Skyara already calmed you down. Skyara gotta calm me down again?
I mean, it took some time to get to this kingdom. I'm just saying, it's been a bit of time. But yeah, Skyora, you notice, while Atlas is basically staring at your butt, you look around, and you're looking for, like, just any signs that the Stanley had gone by here. You do find another, remember that shadow you found on the outside of the wall? You find it again on this side, and from it emerging footsteps.
Skyra will walk up to that.
Okay. You walk up to it. It seems to be the same footsteps. Mike, you know what? Mike was looking as well. Let's see what he notices. Wow, that's a bad
She
roll.
calls that Stanley.
Wow.
Stanley. Alright, Stanley.
You look at. Oh, actually, give me a second. As you do that, all right, Skylar, as you look at this pathway and Atlas, you see that she finds it. Your attention is finally rendered from that amazing backside, and you see the footsteps as well. You look at the footsteps, and Skyra, you do not see this, but Atlas, you look at the footsteps and you notice, just faintly, what looks like remember the description I gave of what the boy looks like right now? That ghostly, like, completely void-looking creature, that boy. You see what looks like a person walking along the path where the footsteps are going. The thing is, it's like barely visible, and it's flickering in and out. It's so transparent before it, and then it goes, and then it disappears completely.
What? Whoa.
All the while where Skyra's just calling out for Stanley.
Oh, no, Skyora, you found the... Oh, yeah, you see Skyora, she's walking, following the path, calling for Stanley as she does so. But yeah, you saw... And you saw this basically what seemed like a kind of a ghost image of something walking along the path of those footsteps.
Atlas?
Wait, what? I zoned out. Whoa. I zoned out so hard. Wait a minute.
Man,
Okay,
Did
did you go into the void? Did you just go into the void IRL?
Maybe. Okay. Okay, can you guys replay that?
Okay, so you saw this, so there's footprints like you guys had been following before, leading it further into the city.
Yeah.
Skyora's following them, calling out to Stanley. And you see what looks like the ghost of a child walk along the path before disappearing. The thing is, when I say disappearing, I mean like it was barely transparent, like visible to begin with, and then it just fizzled out, like glitched away, practically.
Did you guys just see that?
See what?
Yeah, see what?
The kid. There was a kid walking along that way. It just disappeared.
Is this Stanley? Stanley!
I think so.
Wait, where's the little bird?
You don't see the bird right now, but you do remember that Zanar mentioned that there was a bird with the boy.
When she looks around, she's like, huh, what would happen if she just continued walking along the pathway and called out for Stanley's name? So that's what she proceeds to do.
Okay, so Skyara, you're walking along the path. Mike and Scoob follow you, both sniffing around as much as possible. Atlas, what about you? You realize that the others did not seem to see what you were looking at.
Okay, well, Atlas will try to follow the path on where he saw this ghost.
It's going along the same path they're going down.
Okay, well, he just like, he just like he keeps on the path, like focusing on seeing any more appearances.
Okay. Yeah, both of you, as you're walking down the path, roll me a perception, and I need to do a couple rolls real quick.
Yikes.
So
Someone sounds like they had a hard time breathing.
Sorry. Skyora did not roll very well.
What did you get on your perception?
Skyora got a nat 1.
Atlas, what did you roll?
Please roll something higher. Please don't roll a 2.
17.
17? 17 total? Wow, okay. So, you, my friend Atlas, as you're walking down this path, let's see. You start to hear the sound of what you can only surmise to be a child crying.
A child crying. Oh, all right.
With that 17, I'll go ahead and say it just seems to be coming from the direction that you guys are going in. As you guys continue down the path, the crying gets louder and louder, and eventually Skyora starts to pick up on it as well.
Oh. She starts to call for Stanley
Do you
a bit
hear that
louder.
cry?
I do hear that cry. Stanley? Stanley!
My baby.
Stanley and little Robin.
You come following the path, and finally you hear the crying. It's getting louder and louder to the point it's like you can't hear what direction it's coming from, but you can feel that it is getting louder and louder based on the direction you're going. And so you're making your way down this path, like this footprints. It's winding in and out of the city streets, and you finally round this corner. And as you round this corner, you see the crying completely goes out, completely silent, and instead you see a creature in the middle of like this square in the city. And it's what looks to you like it looks like a little boy covered completely head to toe in black, wearing a white shirt of some sort. White orbs for eyes, white hair. It's the description of the boy that you saw, that was described for you. And what he is doing, when you look at him, you can see that he's crying, like sobbing loudly. But now that you can see him, you can no longer hear him.
And she goes, Stanley? Stanley?
He begins to stop. You see the trickling of the like white light from his eyes beginning to stop as he pulls his hands down and looks around and like questioning. Can't really see anything. And then he finally sees you, Skyora, and he also sees Atlas and the dog and everything. And he sees the two of you, but he doesn't do anything just yet. He stays there, kneeled up on the ground.
She slowly approaches. She's like, Stanley? Stanley, I know we look different, but it's me, Skyora. And she points towards Atlas. She's like, yeah, that's Atlas. Maybe we should
buddy?
Stanley?
Okay.
My baby.
You slowly begin to approach him, and you see him look at you, but then he turns his head a little bit, and you can't really tell any detail from him, but you've been around him enough to know that he seems scared as he points to something that's not like that's something in a different direction that you're not looking.
Skyora kind of like glances towards the direction he's pointing towards, and then looks back at Stanley.
Does Atlas look as well?
Atlas does look as well.
Atlas, you look. Skyora, you see nothing from where he's pointing. Atlas, you see that little transparent ghostly being again. It seems to be matching. You see that there's a lot of footprints all over this place. That whatever the seems the path that Stanley has taken to get to this point. And you see this transparent ghostly creature thing walking along those footprints. And what seems to be is that he's going very slowly, but from what you can tell, he's making his way to Stanley.
Well, that's not good.
That's some spooky shiz.
What?
Is this It Follows?
Is it? You don't know what's going on here.
Slowly walking.
I don't know how to feel about this. I'm concerned.
You should be.
Well, of course, Skyra doesn't see that, but she kind of goes up to Atlas. Not Atlas. She goes up to Stanley. She's like, "It's okay, Stanley. You'll be all right."
As you get closer to Stanley, he shakes his head and motions for you to get away from him.
What's wrong with that?
He keeps shaking his head, pointing at the creature, trying to get you guys to back away from him. And there's a sudden sound, what seems to be speaking. And you notice, you look around, that the kingdom is completely empty. There's nobody around. And everything just seems, it feels like you already know, it wasn't nighttime. It wasn't even close to evening yet. But for some reason, as you look around, it's dark. It's darker than it should be. I'm going to have to leave you two there for a bit. No, actually, no. Hold on. Wait a minute. Let me see. Hold on.
Oh my!
Actually, no, because Tila and Mizu are doing the hospital stuff. Yeah, no. Skyora and Atlas, the two of you, notice that this being is still walking along the path, making its way. Stanley does not seem happy about that. That's all you pick up on this right now, and he doesn't seem to want you to get near him for some reason.
And she doesn't approach any closer to Stanley, and she goes, "Stanley, what's wrong?"
You see him, it looks like he tries to say something, open up his mouth, but how do I describe it? You basically hear unsound. When he speaks, you end up hearing the void of noise. Like the absence of noise when he speaks, and when he stops talking, sound floods your ears once again.
Oh, well, that's new. Stanley, can you write? Can you write on the ground?
He thinks for a moment, looks at the ground. He goes over to a clean brick that's on the pavement and takes a finger and begins to write words. You notice it takes a few seconds. He, oh, wait a minute. Neither of you know ornate, right?
Fuck!
Let me check something.
I know ornate, but I'm not there.
Exactly. But lucky for you, let me double check this.
Oh,
Okay.
wait, no. I know vagrancy.
Luckily
Not
for
ornate.
you, Mike
I should check.
understands ornate, so he'll translate. The boy writes down something and motions to it, and Mike looks at it, and he says, it reads, don't get closer, or I disappear. He's after me. And he points at the transparent creature that's still walking along the footprints.
Why is he after you?
You keep. Mike looks over as well. Atlas, you're able to see this? Are you saying anything about this? Because the boy keeps pointing at that thing.
Okay, so what? From what Stanley wrote, that thing is following him.
What thing?
The other ghostly being. Is it hurting you?
Mike like squints his
Stanley?
eyes, and he's like, "I don't see anything there, Atlas, but Stanley writes something on the thing, and he writes something else on the thing, and it says, "He wants me."
What does he want you for?
I don't know.
What happens if we attack it?
I don't know.
Should we try?
Well, it never hurts to try.
You notice that as the bean at this point, give me a second. Oh boy. Oh boy. As the bean is getting closer, both of you roll me a. Actually, no, not Skyora. Skyora can't. Atlas, roll me a perception if you could.
A perception? Alright. Oh,
yeah,
19 plus 2!
19 plus 2?
Nice. 20.
You do start to notice that as the bean is walking, it's becoming more and more visible to you. And when on look at it, it seems to look like whatever Stanley is right now, but the colors are inverted. It's the body's completely white. It's got black hair. It's wearing a black shirt. It looks exactly like Stanley, but inverted colors. One major difference, though. There is a wide, creepily wide grin on its face, and there's the black part of its eyes are dripping.
I can see why Stanley is terrified of that little fucker.
So, do you, Atlas? You can. What do you want to try and do? Oh, right. Also, Atlas, if you could, Atlas and Skyora, roll me insight. Let me see. Okay. All right. That's good rolls, actually.
Roll insight?
Yep.
Okay. There's an 18. Damn.
Okay.
Insight minus 1. Okay.
17. Okay.
I got 16 total.
16 total. The both of you basically come to the realization as well. I will say you also start to notice that Stanley is beginning to become more transparent as time goes on, and he's flickering a little bit. The two of you know that if you just let this continue, Stanley's gonna die or something bad or something else bad. And if Stanley dies, for all you know, something even worse might happen as well. Not just him dying, something else bad. You don't know what though.
Yeah, Atlas is not gonna let that happen.
My barber.
Okay.
So Atlas, seeing this, like, slowly pulls out his blade.
You pull out your blade. As you do, you pull out this blade. This creature is still walking on the footprints. What do you do?
Basically, for Atlas to like test if he like can get damaged by physical means, he will attempt to throw a rock at it.
Okay. Roll me a strength check.
A strength check. All right. Da 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 da. Oh,
Hey yo.
right.
Nice.
+3.
+3.
No, +6.
+6. You throw this rock, goes straight through it. But once you do this though,
Oh,
it does turn its head to look at you with what sounds like a crack as it does. 1 second. One. And it looks at you. The grin. Thank you. The grin still on its face as it tilts its head, continuing to walk down the footprints. Oh man.
Bless you.
Thank you.
And this creature's making you sneeze.
It is.
And he can't follow
Alright.
the footprints.
all right. Okay, cannot attack this thing by physical means.
Could she do
Wait, my mom-
one-arm strike?
It can't. It just said it can't be attacked by physical means.
Oh, that's okay. Can she do minor illusion? Actually, not minor illusion. Mage hand.
Mage hand. Yeah, that's a spell. You cast Mage hand.
It's a cantrip.
And you it's a cantrip, yeah. That hand bursts out of your heart area, and goes over to this child. What do you do specifically? Like, what do you tend
She
to?
just has to hand, because she doesn't know where it is. She just does it along the footprints and just has the hand just basically try to see if it can push it away.
Okay, so you just kind of push it. Do you like just go around the area that Atlas did it at? Roll me. Roll me a d20. Atlas, do you want to try and help direct her? If you do, then I'll let you roll with
Okay.
advantage.
A D20, sure.
No,
14.
no, Pachi, you don't have to roll. I
Wait,
mean,
what?
if you direct Skyora, Skyora can roll with advantage.
Okay. Oh, okay. So I direct Skyora to the direction.
Okay.
Okay. First one's 18, and the other one's a 3.
So 18.
So 18.
You hit this thing, you actually feel something, and Atlas, you see this thing stumble a bit. As it does, it stumbles off the footprints and ends up stepping away from them, from getting pushed. And you notice white footprints start glowing. Skyora, you see the white footprints as well, as the child has been split off from it. And Skyora, when you do this, it suddenly comes into being for you. You can see it now. Having stepped off, there's like several white footprints now, and it looks at the two of you, and its grin just, instead of like going down like a frown should, the mouth itself distorts the face and turns over. And it is now a very frowny face looking at you.
Okay. I guess Batman took over you.
But you can see it now, Skylar, as can Mike and Scoob. Speaking of which, you do this. Wham! Scoob comes like a bolt at this thing and tackles it to the ground, leaving a streak of white on the bricks, and it just starts tearing and ripping at it in front of you guys. You hear a snap, a rip, and a tear, and then it turns back at you guys, holding its head in the head in its mouth, and there's a flash of light, and the thing is gone.
Oh, what? It's gone.
Wow, damn.
Did I good, Rude? Was that Rude? Did I do that good? That was what we were supposed to do, right?
That was very impressive.
Thank you.
That was savage.
Rory, if it was a
Terrible.
real Rylant, I was a real Rungy. Reverend Reeton, whence we were on my Ranit.
Okay, now it's become unintelligible.
You notice Stanley sees the white footprints that are still present, goes over to them and begins stepping on them the way the other stepped on his, and they disappear. There's a sudden. You guys blink. You look around. You're in the town square. There's people walking by doing their own thing, as if nothing happened. It's no longer dark. It's normal daytime again. But you do see one woman go, "What in the world is that?" As people's attention gets brought to Stanley. He's no longer creating footprints, and he's right there in front of you guys. And you see a little bird alight on his shoulder. The bird is made of complete shadow as well.
Little Robin.
So, we're gonna go. So real quick, tell me what you guys do, and then I'm gonna go back to Tila and Mizu, and that after we finish up what they're doing, and we get everybody back together, then we're probably gonna end tonight's session. But yeah,
My baby.
you found Stanley.
Skyra is gonna. Sorry.
No, go ahead. What do you do?
I was gonna say Skyra goes up to Stanley. She pats his head. She's like,
You pat his head. He looks up in shock, like he jolts at first, and then sees that you're touching him, and he reaches up, grabs your big hand, and starts holding your fingers and touching your hand and stuff, making sure he can actually touch you. You notice there is a little streak of black wherever he touches, but it fades away almost as soon as he does as that happens. And he takes your hand and he puts his face on it so that your hand is cupping his cheek, and he's holding your hand to his face.
oh. She has her thumb stroking part of his cheek, and she's like, "It's okay. You're all right now."
Atlas, what are you doing?
And she gives Stanley a hug.
You give him a hug. Yeah, he hugs you tightly.
Yes,
Atlas?
Atlas is very glad that he's okay, and he goes to give him a hug as well.
You come in for the hug. He sees you. He puts his hands on your
Yes.
the cheeks of your face, and it looks at your head for a second, and you see just this recognition, and he hugs you as well, and he hugs the two of you. He's very happy to be in your arms right now.
Oh.
Somebody
My
call
poor
the
baby.
guard!
He's
They
been
found the
stressing out
phantom!
since he arrived there.
Little Robin, a little scratch around the neck.
The Robin's very happy about that.
Oh,
But suddenly you hear somebody's voice. Somebody get the guards! The warriors have found the Robin! And you see a few people run off to go get some guards, and so you notice some guards looking at you guys, seeing what you're holding, and they start making their way towards you. They're a bit of a distance away, but they're on their way over to you right now.
Oh boy.
Right now, what is Tila doing?
No. I just want to know, are you guys gonna just let the guards come to you? Because remember, they want this thing dead.
She's like, wait. This thing. It's like, he won't hurt you. He's a friend of ours.
They hold up their blades
Who's
to
the
you.
boy that?
It seems she's already under its influence. We might have to take them all out. It's like, yes, it's possible.
yo, what the fuck?
What? No.
Step away from the phantom, madam.
He was the little boy. He was the boy who was lost earlier.
I don't know who you're
our
talking
Dragonborn
about.
friend was talking
That thing is dangerous.
And when she does, she cups his not cups the guard's face, but cups the Stanley's face. She's like, "Does this little guy look like he's gonna hurt you?" Look at him.
That thing looks like a freak of nature. Yes, it does. What kind of a question is that?
And what she does, she just rubs her face against it. She's like, look, see, he's not gonna hurt anyone.
Roll me persuasion.
Huh?
Roll me persuasion.
Deception?
Persuasion.
Persuasion, okay.
You're gonna have to beat a 13.
Okay. Dice, please be on my side. Oh, it's a 13.
Plus your persuasion.
It clashes. Oh, persuasion. I forgot about that. Plus 1, 14.
14. They are very, very hesitant about it, but they do lower their... Well, they don't really lower their weapons, but they kind of just... they look at each other and they just kind of... Okay, yeah, alright. We'll have to bring you and your compatriots before the king. And with that, they are going to lead you guys to the king. And Tila and Mizu, both of you, if you both could roll me 3 medicine checks, please, and then 3 medical checks and 1 constitution check. Tila and Mizu.
Oh, Jesus.
It's a lot of rolls,
Oh
I'm aware,
God.
but we need to find out a couple things.
16, 11.
11 medicine.
Ow.
All right.
Okay.
We have found.
So let's see. Let's see.
I rolled.
Maybe send your rolls in the chat so I know. So like just like put them down, write them down, and send them so I can see what the rolls were. It'll be make it a little easier.
And then my constitution saving.
I'm gonna roll for that. 15
Yeah.
plus what?
3 medicals and a constitution. Okay, 10.
19 for my con save.
Okay.
Oh, God.
Okay. So 10, 11, 15. All right, 16, 11.
What does the
16.
picture of Stanley looks like?
I'll get it for you in a bit. But first off, so you see, okay, that means, Tila, you save 1 patient and lose 2, but you're doing all right. Like, you put in a lot of work. They're not blaming you for this, though. No one's giving you like problems over this. They're like, it happens. Sometimes people are beyond saving. But you're not like sweating and tired right now, though. Like, you're working with the system. You're going boom, bip, bop. You're doing good. Mizu, you end up saving 2 patients but losing 1. But you're not terribly tired, but you're probably more tired than Tila is. But you're not like super sweaty or anything like that. Like, you're doing all right. This whole water genasi thing is probably helping you out. But yeah, the 2 of you are taking care of business. You're finally given. They never really tell you about a break necessarily. Like, you kind of have like a few seconds between each patient, and then finally you get the 2 of you are brought. A knight comes up to each one of you and tells you, "We need you lot at the king's castle. They have found the boy, the phantom that you lot were trying to kill. But they haven't killed it for some reason. I don't know why."
Are they coming to me?
Yeah, they come to Tila, they come to Mizu, they tell both of you, and they bring the 2 of you to the king's castle. Last thing before we end tonight's session. Last thing before we end tonight's session. You guys are all in here. You guys are brought back together.
Where's Emmett?
You see through one of the doors. Emmett's not here right now. He's not here just yet. He seems to still be working with patients right now. Like, you haven't seen him dragged off to a dungeon.
Right.
So he must be playing the part.
Probably like,
Oh my God, does he have any medical knowledge?
Does he?
he does.
Oh dear.
Well,
Does he?
Panic.
we're ending tonight's
Panic
session.
fragment.
We shall end
Panic.
tonight's session with a lot of you are before the king with Stanley in Skyora's arms. Stanley's very happy to see the rest of you. Like, he hugs, kisses all around. The king's very confused by this. But we will be ending the session there. Yeah, next week you've got a discussion to have with the king. Hopefully he doesn't want to have you guys killed because, yeah. I'm going to switch to my computer after I end the stream. But I want to say to everyone who came to the stream, thank you for joining. Atlas, if you have some time once I end the stream, I want to talk with you, Panchi, for a bit. Nothing gay, don't worry. But I'm joking. So, thank you everybody for watching.
No homo.
Hope you all enjoyed this session. I know it doesn't have the immersiveness with the icons and all that. I just can't do that right now. But hopefully this worked out. Y'all could hear everything. Had that all set up. This will probably be like this for a little while. Thank you for joining Space Dice. We had our wonderful cast and crew. Mizu, played by Blackie Sheepy. Tilapan, played by Les Mod. Atlas, played by Panchi. And Skyora Sirocco, played by Rose Hearts. So yeah, thank you.